Hello and welcome to Drunken Nerf News. Does this blaster remind you of anything? Anyone? Maybe one that just came out, that has kind of come out, that just got published? Maybe? Does that look somewhat familiar? Maybe if I put a stock right on the end of this thing. Can you hold it like this? Maybe it looks like something. Sure, it will reach. That is because it is a Sharpfire that this reminds you of, because the Sharpfire is directly inspired by this blaster. We are about 99% sure. What do I gotta say about that? Right on. Thank you for using my influence and example to make a better blaster. Can it be a better blaster? Well, I'm looking at right now, there is some great possibility of it being an outstanding blaster, just from the picture. And there's a great possibility of it being completely, I'm not kidding, it could go either way. It could go either way. I gotta drink some Jack and Coke. I'm getting too excited. I've been excited all day. I have not slept since 5 a.m. When I went through my PMs, I was too crazy busy yesterday. And my friend from Australia actually sent me a PM and showed me, hey, you know, Orange Modworks is not listening, but Hasbro is. What do I like about this blaster? First off, I do like the fact that it's slide fire, because I'm pretty sure it's not anchor points on the outside that go on a bolt set and go like that, and those anchor points can break, the bolts that can break all that. I think it is straight push onto a piston, where it pushes directly back and loads, and then you can push it forward. It goes either into your breech or your slide becomes a breech. That's number one. Number two, modding a brass barrel blaster and rear loading would be like default. Okay? Number three, there is a nice little space under it that looks like it would take a Mark 23 Magnum Research Desert Eagle 50 caliber magazine with a catch. Fairly easy with an adapter to hold the magazine in place with a softer spring, and that would make it so I could probably load 7 Steffens in there. So you have this thing with like a magazine in the front, and then you have your grip like that. So you just go pop, boom, pop, boom. 4, the plunger tube that the back of it looks like it is of sufficient size. This can go either way. It can either go bust or boom. For example, you got 4 screws in the back of it. Now that looks a lot like a jolt. Now, hopefully those are screws and not glued in. Because of course you can unscrew a blaster, but you can't unscrew a pregnant lady. Sorry. I mean, you can try. They call it abortion, but that's not necessarily unscrewing, because in my opinion, you have screws for eternity to do that. They call that murder. I am pro-choice, however, my opinions are my opinions of what really happens. So, that's number one. Is that unscrewable? If that's not unscrewable, how badly does that screw you over? Okay, how badly does it make it not disassemble? It has to be disassemblable, because you got a trigger assembly there and everything else, okay? Number 3, the catch. It's obviously a messenger catch, okay? Which a lot of people say, well, that just sucks because... Have you guys ever done some real, blaster smithing? Like, okay, you got a 45 auto. You got a sear that sticks. You file it a little bit. You file the end that grabs up, and you just slightly round it a few, and it will go. Okay? Same thing with the messengers, is it's got little mole marks on it. And when you have it back, and I know because I load mine with 14 kilograms, it will lock up because there's too much resistance. But if you flatly file it and you keep the level of that catch on a messenger, I'm talking about the finger that goes up, okay? It will do just fine. But you have to be patient with it, and you have to do a precise job. And then after that, you take a little bit off the top to shorten it so that it clears better. It works just fine. I have never had a messenger not catch on me, or any of my customers, or anybody. Okay, you just got to know what you're doing and not be afraid. Because with a messenger catch, your advantage is it's not a straight guillotine anymore, where you just have your lock. It moves up, the whole thing fires. Like, for example, this. Okay, you pull back. Okay, it now has the caught in the guillotine. It's got a little catch on here, and when I fire it, it lets it go. Okay, it fires. Notice how this has been sitting around for a while, and it still has. I mean, it still has like no voids in the seal. It's gorgeous. I just love the Ultra Match. Yes, it's a small plunger tube. Yes, it can only throw a number 6 dart, maybe 85, 90 feet. But it can throw an Explorer dart pretty far, an Elite dart pretty far, and for most modded stock, it's going to be the longest blaster you have unless somebody brought a Titan. And then even then, the guy's got to pump like 10 times to pump it, or even if worse, if he took out the restrictor, he's got to pump like 20 times. Okay? So, if you think about it, an Ultra Match is great. You can throw one of these on a holster, all that stuff. Does this thing have an Ultra Match potential? It depends. What is the plunger head like? What is the catch like? All that stuff. So, okay, so this goes down. Let's go back to where we were. This goes down because it has a spring on it. When you pull it up, it opens the breech, it fires. Now, how a messenger works, and I'm suspecting that this catch is much the same. The piston goes back, and a finger of it, okay, so let's say this is my piston. Okay. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Okay, so here's my piston. I got a little finger, goes up like that, and it catches it. What happens is, the more force that's going back this way, the more it is grabbing the finger, keeping it from slipping. As where a normal blaster like a Fire Strike, or a Retaliator, or a Long Shot, has to have enough force maintained to keep this from moving up. On a messenger type trigger set, your catch spring can be whatever you want. The only thing it really affects is how fast and how hard the catch goes up when the piston engages it. So you're gonna have the weakest catch spring as long as the catch goes up. At that point, the pressure of the yield is actually helping the catch stay in place. And people have a problem with this because they don't understand this relation, because it's not a standard catch. It's maybe a little bit like maybe a clothespin catch on a stat pole or something like that. But the thing is, once you get it, it's beautiful. It doesn't take much, and if that catch pin is strong enough, you can make that as heavy of a yield as you want. You just have to do a precision job. That's it, and that's why my blasters cost a lot of money. I do a lot of detailed work. Okay, not that I may or may not make a bunch of them. Not that my day is better or worse if I make a ton or if I don't, because I'm either making money and I'm too busy, or I'm not making money or doing anything, and you know, I have too much time on my hands. So either way, you know, it's a great thing in life. Do I think it will spin like this? No, I don't. Not that you have been doing this with long slides and single action armies all your life. Not that you were trained by a Navy SEAL to do this and to shoot accurately and win Nerf battles with single shooters when everybody else needs repeaters. And if I did have a repeater that wasn't a Retaliator, you people would be in trouble. Okay? If I had a good repeater that could shoot as powerful as one of these, like maybe a good snap or something like that, and I practiced with shooting a repeater again, a few weeks I would waste everybody. I know that sounds really arrogant, and it is, and I'm sorry, but it's just that I'm older. I've been shooting, playing all my life, you know, informal shooting matches, competitions, experience with firearms, experience with toy guns, experience with battle tactics, everything like that. I play with a bunch of people that are also strong in battle tactics, like Eric Conception and Kyle Pettigrew and Gabriel Aguilar and all of them, who also are pretty equally matched in terms of skill. Basic Nerf, also another one, pretty equally matched in terms of skill. But I'm just good with single shooters. This is why people call me Sky Magna. I'm out with the golden gun. So, what else could be wrong with this? A lot of things. But it's, right now, it's what can be right. Here's what you gotta think about. You look at the Sharpfire. Does this look like a cheap blaster to you? Doesn't to me. It comes with, well, what it looks like right now, it comes with, I see 4 darts lined up, but there's also 6 on the stock. That looks like 10. The stock doesn't look like an expensive stock, but it doesn't look cheap either. It looks like maybe something you would find on a stockade, or maybe something you find on a demolisher. Okay, and it's got a clip. Obviously, I think the thing probably folds up or something like that, and you can put it on your belt, and you can just pull it out, and you have a little sniper rifle. It's made for accuracy, obviously. But what I'm saying is that white plate. That white plate is on a piece that because of the slide mechanism and everything else, it has to come apart. Now, of course, like a lot of blasters, they usually show it on the, like I do, which is by the writing on the Ultra Matches side. They show it on the right side. Why? On this side, you got screws, okay? It would really help if I saw a picture of this with screws, because then I can tell, okay, that white piece, that catch plate is not going to come off, or it is going to come off. If it does come off, you're going to probably have to reinforce that a little bit if you're going to throw like a 20K yield in there. If I could throw 20K in here, and already built in would be a place to put my brass barrel and hide it. Already built in would be a safety muzzle around the barrel so I couldn't cut at anybody. This blaster could be a dream come true. It really could be. It does look like it's 1.25 inches, not 1 inch in diameter. And I think it has to come apart because the white part's got to come apart. You have a straight pullback trigger like your single action 45, okay? You don't have like a rounded trigger or something on a pivot like you did with the Messenger where the trigger is merged in place. There's no way they're going to make it so that the spring, the piston, and the whole thing is just going to be glued together. It's just not going to happen. It can't be. It's just not going to happen. So I'm really thinking that, well, it has to be disassemblable at that point. What's the reinforcements like on it? No idea. And people can say, well, that looks like a jolt, but at the same time, that also looks like a triad. And remember on a triad, that bottom part is unscrewable. So that's beautiful. And then of course you got what's called the flip fire. What do I think of that? It looks very bulky. First off, it looks like it has the heavy kind of cylinders that maybe a hammer shot has. And with a hammer shot, it's nice because it actually brings forward the center of gravity just like this brass barrel does, which is the reason I actually added them. Originally on this blaster, the barrel was about up to here, and it was just 17 seconds. I added a 9/16 and found out that it improves the efficiency of the dart. It improves the accuracy of the dart. It actually uses the excess air that when the dart goes out of the barrel, it doesn't use, and it straightens the dart's orientation. Which, you go to West Hollywood, you can see a lot of people that need to be straightened out. I'm kidding. Come as you are, each to his own. That's my way. But at anywho, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. That was bad. I'm not going to tell you about the strength in numbers in World War II either. But, I'm just saying. That's Kyle's joke. I'm just saying. Okay. But, at any rate, yeah. It could go either way. And that's why I'm looking at this blaster. It could go either way. But I'm just so happy. Influence and example rules all. And until next time, toodaloo.
I can't figure it out, Badger. I mean, you seem like a smart kid. Why do you waste your time with all this kid stuff garbage? And you're almost 8.